There is an ancient secret, one that the most successful people you have ever admired, the ones living the lives you quietly long for, have never openly shared with you. And it has nothing to do with money, connections, or luck. The great thinkers who explored the deepest layers of the human mind discovered this long before the modern world had language for it. The most accomplished individuals are those who have learned how to direct and govern their own consciousness. This knowledge has often remained hidden, but the real difference is not talent, credentials, or opportunity. The difference lies in the conversation happening inside your head right now. While you walk through your day, replaying mistakes, and criticizing yourself, the people you admire are using that same inner space to develop themselves and build their next success. While you rehearse failure, they rehearse success. While you speak to yourself like an adversary, they speak to themselves like a trusted companion. This is not empty motivation or blind positivity. It is the mechanism through which reality is shaped. Your internal dialogue is the programming language of your life, yet most people are running on outdated and harmful patterns installed long ago without awareness. Those who thrive have learned to rewrite that programming and use it in their favor. Your thoughts do not simply reflect reality, they help create it. Many unknowingly use this power to reinforce limitations, but it can be redirected. You can learn to reshape your mind and begin constructing the life you actually want. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Right now, there is a voice in your mind that has been speaking to you all day. It has been your constant companion for years. What most people fail to realize is that this inner dialogue is shaping their experience moment by moment. Thousands of thoughts pass through your mind each day, and most of them repeat the same patterns from yesterday. The same doubts, fears, and limitations play on a loop. But this can change. If you begin speaking to yourself the way high performing individuals do, everything begins to shift. Your current reality reflects how you've been speaking to yourself. If something in your life feels stuck, listen closely to your inner dialogue around it. The outer world reflects the inner one. For many people, their relationship with themselves is harsh and critical. They say things internally they would never say to anyone else. But when this changes, everything changes. You begin to realize you have been programming yourself all along, and now you can do it consciously. Most people operate on autopilot, repeating the same internal script every day. Thoughts like, I am not good enough, or I cannot handle this, run constantly in the background. But you have the ability to change that. When you shift your inner dialogue, you shift how you feel, how you act, and ultimately the results you experience. Your thoughts create your emotions drive your actions, and your actions create your outcomes. This cycle can either limit you or set you free. When you consciously choose your thoughts, you begin to change your entire experience. The mind responds to what it is told. When you consistently speak to yourself as capable and evolving, you begin to embody those qualities. Most people do the opposite, reinforcing fear and limitation, then wondering why life feels difficult. When you change how you speak to yourself, you change how you treat yourself. When that changes, your presence in the world changes. Others respond differently. Opportunities appear differently. This is not pretending, it is aligning with who you are becoming. This practice requires no cost, no tools, and no permission. It only requires awareness and choice. Over the next 7 days, you can begin transforming your internal dialogue. The goal is not perfection, but consistency, being more aware and intentional than automatic. Each time you choose a better thought, you begin reshaping your mind. Your environment matters during this process. Surround yourself with supportive influences and reduce exposure to negativity. You are installing a new mental framework, and it becomes easier when you are not constantly pulled back into old patterns. The first stage is awareness. Begin noticing how you speak to yourself. Most people are unaware of their inner dialogue. When you catch negative or limiting thoughts, simply observe them without judgment. Create a pause, take a breath, and recognize that you are not your thoughts. You are the one who can choose them. Ask yourself where your thoughts come from and whether they serve you. Observe your patterns with curiosity rather than frustration. When you notice a negative thought, interrupt it. Then choose a more supportive one. It does not need to be overly positive, just more constructive and aligned with growth. Each time you do this, you strengthen your ability to guide your mind. The next stage is transformation. Begin speaking to yourself with the same kindness and encouragement you would offer someone you care about. Replace harsh criticism with understanding. When you make mistakes, focus on what you can learn. When you face challenges, remind yourself of your ability to grow. Reframe your language. Shift from I can't to I am learning how. This small change keeps possibilities open. Acknowledge progress, no matter how small. Focus on what is working and what is developing. You are not creating false beliefs. You are choosing perspectives that support your growth. The final stage is embodiment. Begin speaking as the person you are becoming. That version of you already exists as potential. When you adopt their mindset now, you begin to embody those qualities. Think about how that version of you handles challenges, setbacks, and daily life. Start having those inner conversations today. Use language that creates positive emotional states like gratitude, confidence, and calm. Emotion strengthens the impact of thought. When combined, they create powerful change. Focus on what you appreciate and what is already working in your life. Speak about your future as something unfolding now. As your internal dialogue changes, your body responds. Stress decreases, energy increases, and your overall state improves. You begin to feel more balanced and at ease. Your relationships also shift. You become more confident, less defensive, and more open. Others notice this change even if they cannot explain it. You attract different experiences because you are operating from a different state. When you respect yourself internally, that respect carries into every interaction. Confidence grows naturally and people respond to it. There will be resistance. Old patterns may try to return. You may forget at times or feel like nothing is changing. This is normal. It is part of the process. Do not judge yourself. Simply begin again. Every moment of awareness strengthens your progress. Stay patient and committed. Change may happen quickly or gradually, but it is always happening beneath the surface. Trust the process. Remember why you started and the life you are working toward. As you continue, you can deepen the practice by combining thoughts with visualization and creating personalized affirmations that resonate with you. The most powerful times to practice are when you wake up and before you sleep, when your mind is most receptive. The goal is not to complete a set period and stop. The goal is to make this way of thinking natural, to make conscious inner dialogue your default. Right now, you are at a choice point. You can continue repeating the same internal patterns, or you can begin changing them with your very next thought. Transformation begins immediately, not in the future, but now. The person you want to become already exists within you as potential, waiting to be expressed. Every time you speak to yourself in alignment with that version, you move closer to becoming them. Memory full.